Grandma wishes. There's a special star in the nighttime sky that only grandmas see. And when I heard that you'd be born, it shone so bright for me. My heart swelled up with love, my dear, so before I went to bed, I wished upon that grandma star, and here is what I said. Please let this child be healthy, growing stronger every day, and let this child be happy, full of giggles when we play. Let this child watch the world with a thoughtful sort of mind, and let this child bring joy to us with a tender heart that's kind. No matter what, this special child will brighten all our days. I know for sure my love will last forever and always. When I made my wish on the grandma star, I made my wish for you. When I first held you in my arms, my grandma wish came true. Butterfly eggs come in teeny tiny shapes and sizes. They often are hidden under leaves and are so special surprises. Out of those eggs hatch caterpillars that look like hungry worms. They eat and feed and grow so much they can barely wiggle and squirm. It's time for the caterpillars to find a safe spot and make a cozy cocoon. They go through big changes while in this place with such limited room. Butterflies begin their lives so very small. They go through growth stages that they may not enjoy at all. But when they are grown and ready to spread their wings to fly, nothing is more beautiful than a butterfly reaching up, up, up for the sky. Love you forever. A mother held her new baby and very slowly rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she held him, she sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. The baby grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 2 years old, and he ran all around the house. He pulled all the books off the shelves. He pulled all the food out of the refrigerator, and he took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Sometimes his mother would say, This kid is driving me crazy. But at night time, when that 2-year-old was quiet, she opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of his bed, and if he was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. While she rocked him, she sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. The little boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 9 years old, and he never wanted to come in for dinner. He never wanted to take a bath. And when Grandma visited, he always said bad words. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. But at night time, when he was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door. The mother quietly opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If he was really asleep, she picked up that 9-year-old boy and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. The boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a teenager. He had strange friends and he wore strange clothes and he listened to strange music. Sometimes his mother felt like she was in a zoo. But at nighttime, when that teenager was asleep, the mother opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If he was really asleep, she picked up that great big boy and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. While she rocked him, she sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. That teenager grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a grown-up man. He left home, got a house across town. But sometimes on dark nights, the mother got in her car and drove across town. If all the lights in her son's house were out, she opened his bedroom window, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of his bed. If that great big man was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Well, that mother, she got older. She got older and older and older. One day she called up her son and said, You'd better come see me because I'm very old and sick. So her son came to see her. When he came in the door, she tried to sing the song. She sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. But she couldn't finish because she was too old and too sick. The son went to his mother. He picked her up and rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he sang this song, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my mommy you'll be. When the son came home that night, he stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. Then he went into the room where his very new baby daughter was sleeping. He picked her up in his arms and very slowly rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while he rocked her, he sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Hariet, you'll drive me wild. Hariet Harris was a pesky child. She didn't mean to be. She just was. One morning at breakfast, she knocked over a glass of juice. Just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, Hariet, my darling child. I'm sorry, Hariet said. And she was. At snack time, she dribbled jam all over her jeans, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, Hariet, my darling child. Hariet, you'll drive me wild. I'm sorry, said Hariet, and she was. Before lunch, when Hariet was painting a picture, she dripped paint onto the carpet, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, Hariet, my darling child. Hariet, you'll drive me wild. Hariet, sweetheart, what are we to do? I'm sorry, said Hariet, and she was. At lunch, Hariet slid off her chair, and the tablecloth came with her, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, Hariet, my darling child. Hariet, you'll drive me wild. Hariet, sweetheart, what are we to do? Hariet Harris, I'm talking to you. I'm sorry, said Hariet, and she was. Later that afternoon, when Hariet was meant to be napping, she ripped open a pillow, just like that. 1,000 feathers flew in every direction. There was a terrible silence. Then Harriet's mother began to yell. She yelled and yelled and yelled. "I'm sorry," Hariet cried. "I'm really, really sorry." Her mother took a deep breath. "I know you are," she said, hugging Hariet tight. "I'm sorry, too. I shouldn't have yelled, and I wish I hadn't. But sometimes it happens, just like that." "Big mess," said Hariet. "A very big mess," said her mother, and she started to laugh. "Let's take a walk. Grover likes to walk so he can get exercise. Let's take a walk on Sesame Street." Grover pays attention to street signs and other walkers to stay safe. "Excuse me, doggy." Grover sees Murray waiting at the bus stop. Using public transportation helps our environment. Abby, Cadabby, and Elmo are enjoying special treats outside Hooper's Velvetine Rabbit. Once there was a little toy Velvetine Rabbit. He had floppy ears and a pink nose. The boy took him everywhere because, to the boy, the rabbit was real. One day, two real rabbits hopped by. "He doesn't look right," they said, "and he doesn't smell right. He isn't a real rabbit at all." A time came when the boy got very sick. Soon he was better, but all the toys he had touched when he was sick had to be thrown away. That's what the doctor said. The Velveteen Rabbit was put in the trash. He was so sad that a real tear fell from his eye. What happened next was magic. Where the tear fell, a flower grew. Out of the flower came a fairy. She kissed him on the nose and turned him into a real rabbit. "I'm really real," shouted the little rabbit. He jumped for joy. Then off he hopped on his real legs. One day, the boy went to play in the woods. A rabbit came to peek at him, but the boy never knew it was his very own little Velveteen Rabbit. Harry, Harry the Dirty Dog. Harry was a white dog with black spots who liked everything except getting a bath. So one day, when he heard the water running in the tub, he took the scrubbing brush and he buried it in the backyard. Then he ran away from home. He played where they were fixing the street and got very dirty. He played at the railroad and got even dirtier. He played tag with other dogs and became dirtier still. He slid down a coal chute and got the dirtiest of all. In fact, he changed from a white dog with black spots to a black dog with white spots. Although there were many other things to do, Harry began to wonder if his family thought that he had really run away. He felt tired and hungry too, so without stopping on the way, he ran back home. When Harry got to his house, he crawled through the fence and sat looking at the back door. One of the family looked out and said, "There's a strange dog in the backyard. By the way, has anyone seen Harry?" When Harry heard this, he tried very hard to show them he was Harry. He started to do all his old clever tricks. He flip-flopped, and he flop-flipped. He rolled over and played dead. He danced and he sang. He did these tricks over and over again, but everyone shook their heads and said, "Oh no, it couldn't be Harry." Harry gave up and walked slowly toward the gate. But suddenly he stopped. He ran to a corner of the garden and started to dig ferociously. Soon he jumped away from the hole, barking short, happy barks. He found the scrubbing brush, and carrying it in his mouth, he ran into the house. Up the stairs he dashed, with the family following close behind. He jumped into the bathtub and sat up begging, with the scrubbing brush in his mouth, a trick he had certainly never done before. "This little doggie wants a bath," cried the little girl, and her father said, "Why don't you and your brother give him one?" Harry's bath was the soapiest one he had ever had. It worked like magic. As soon as the children started to scrub, they began shouting, "Mommy, Daddy, look, look, come quick! It's Harry! It's Harry! It's Harry!" they cried. Harry wagged his tail and was very, very happy. His family combed and brushed him lovingly, and he became once again a white dog with black spots. It was wonderful to be home. After dinner, Harry fell asleep in his favorite place, happily dreaming of how much fun it had been getting dirty. He slept soundly, but he didn't even feel the scrubbing brush he'd hidden under his pillow. So Biscuit loves the park. "Biscuit, where are you?" "Woof, woof." "Here, Biscuit. We're going to play in the big park. I have your ball, Biscuit. Let's play. Woof, woof." "Wait, Biscuit, where are you going? Your ball is right here. Let's play. Woof, woof." "Uh-oh, there goes the ball. Woof." "Biscuit, wait for me. There is a big park. Woof, woof." "Silly puppy, are you there by the tree? Are you there by the bench? Woof, woof." "Biscuit, where are you? By the pond? Woof, woof." "Biscuit, where are you? Woof." "Funny puppy, now I found you. Woof, woof." "Oh, no." Here, Biscuit, I found your ball. But where can you be? Woof, woof, Biscuit, are you by the merry-go-round? Are you by the swings? This is a very big park, Biscuit. Where are you? Woof, 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 woof. Oh, Biscuit, where have you been? I have been looking for you everywhere. Woof, woof. Sweet puppy, I was trying to find you, but you found me. And lots of new friends, too. Now let's play. Ruff, ruff, woof, woof. Frog and Toad. A list. One morning, Toad sat in bed. "I have many things to do," he said. "I will write them all down on a list so that I can remember them." Toad wrote on a piece of paper, "A list of things to do today." Then he wrote, "Wake up." "Well, I have done that," Toad said, and he crossed off "Wake up." Then Toad wrote other things on the paper. "There," Toad said, "now my day is all written down." He got out of bed, had something to eat, and then he crossed off, "Eat breakfast." Toad took his clothes out of the closet and put them on. He then crossed off, "Get dressed." Toad put the list in his pocket. He opened the door and walked out into the morning. Soon Toad was at Frog's front door. He took the list out of his pocket and crossed out, "Go to Frog's house." Toad knocked at the door. "Hello," said Frog. "Look at my list of things to do," said Toad. "Oh," said Frog. "That is very nice," Toad said. "My list tells me that we will go for a walk." "All right," said Frog. "I am ready." Frog and Toad went on a long walk. Then Toad took the list from his pocket again. He crossed off, "Take a walk with Frog." Just then there was a strong wind. It blew the list out of Toad's hand. The list blew high into the air. "Help!" cried Toad. "My list is blowing away. What would I do without my list?" "Hurry," said Frog. "We will run and catch it." "No," shouted Toad. "I cannot do that." "Why not?" said Frog. "Because running after my list is not on the list of things I wrote." Frog ran after the list. He ran up over the hills and swamps, but the list blew on and on. At last, Frog came back to Toad. "I am sorry," gasped Frog, "but I could not catch your list." "Blah," said Toad. "I cannot remember any of the things that were on my list of things to do. I will just have to sit here and do nothing," said Toad. Toad sat and did nothing. Frog sat with him. After a long time, Frog said, "Toad, it's getting dark. We should be going to sleep now." "Go to sleep," shouted Toad. "That was on the list of things to do. It was the last thing on my list." Then with a stick, Toad wrote, "Go to sleep." Then he crossed out, "Go to sleep." "There," said Toad. "Now my day is all crossed out." "I am glad," said Frog. Then Frog and Toad went right to sleep.